From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Our top story this evening. Once again, thousands of interior residents in both North Pole and Fairbanks experienced hours-long outages into the evening. As of news time, the power has been restored to most, but GVEA expects more outages to continue as the wind gusts knock out many trees and branches. News Center 11's Stephanie Woodard has more.
High winds were again the cause of loss of power of nearly 4,500 GVEA residents. Now, last night in areas of North Pole and in Fairbanks, residents lost their power as wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour knocked out power.
About 1 o'clock this morning, we started to have outages, and by noon today we had everybody back on. We estimate about 7,100 of our members were affected by the outage, not all at one time, but throughout these last 13 hours.
Hundreds of fallen trees on the power lines continue to provide issues.
We call these cascading outages, and the reason is as soon as they clear a tree from a line that fell in the line from the winds, then they get the power restored, and then further down the line another tree goes in. So that's why people were experiencing my lights are on and then 10 minutes or an hour later the lights are back off.
GVEA linemen worked vigorously through the evening to get power up to those who experienced the outages.
We had pretty much 6 crews working. We just now have started to rotate them so they can get some rest, but until the winds stop, we just have to keep rotating crews, trying to get people's power back up in terrible conditions. And so we do appreciate that, and we appreciate our members having patience as we get through this.
While GVEA prepares for more outages that are expected to continue throughout the night, they do say that folks can take some precautions to ensure that the damage does not happen to their electronics.
As far as protecting sensitive equipment is definitely something members ought to consider. Even if it's plugged into a power strip, usually power strips can only take so many hits and the fuse in them can go. So protect your sensitive equipment.
If you experience a continuing outage, you can phone GVEA at their outage center or email them at info@gvea.com. Stephanie Woodard, News Center 11.
Frustrations ran high last night as mental health professionals and community members came together to discuss the state of care in the Fairbanks area. The Interior is facing many new challenges in the field since the sudden closure of the Fairbanks Community Behavioral Health Center earlier this year. The sudden lack of services is causing patients to be sent to Anchorage for care. The group meeting began with a presentation about the problems being faced and included small group discussions about possible short and long-term solutions. One of the focuses was on housing facilities for the mentally ill, which at this point are basically non-existent in Fairbanks.
When it comes to that added layer of serious mental illness, we really now have none. And knowing the challenges that we have as a hospital in really placing anyone that needs assisted living, which is sometimes almost impossible. Again, when you get to that layer with severe mental illness, there is truly nowhere to go.
Now we'll have more on this story later this week during the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final. Governor Sean Parnell today said that the money the state owes for its unfunded pension liabilities is the biggest single expense Alaska has. He wants to use state savings accounts money to pay it down. The governor today unveiled his fiscal 2015 budget, proposing $1.3 billion less in general fund spending than the current year and 150 fewer positions. Parnell's budget totals $5.6 billion in state general funds, which is 18% less than the current year. Now, the governor said loss of revenue due to lower oil prices is a factor in the budget.
87% of our recurring revenue comes from oil, taxes, and royalties. Last spring, the oil forecast for the coming fiscal year was for more than $111 per barrel. As you know, the fall revenue forecast released last week says that price is more likely to be around $105 per barrel. That is a $1,460 million change in revenue, downward from what we were anticipating last spring.
When we come back, the University of Alaska Board of Regents is conducting a meeting here in Fairbanks. Also, moose meatloaf. That is your Fairbanks flavor of the day. Stay with us. And welcome back. The University of Alaska Board of Regents is in Fairbanks again for their regular meeting. Today, the board unexpectedly faced a full hour of public testimony regarding a comment made at their previous meeting. Now, during the November meeting, Regent Kenneth Fisher mentioned changing the employee tuition waiver to keep down tuition costs. Nearly everyone who testified this morning said the idea was frightening because it's a huge benefit to employees. Regents were surprised at the overwhelming feedback because they weren't seriously considering the issue.
I think it was good for them to be able to talk to us about their particular problems or benefits from having had this tuition waiver in the past and why they want to keep it in the future. And we listened and we learned, and it's important to have those types of communication. Entertainment during the holiday season is normally all about Christmas and traditional shows. One dance studio in town decided they wanted to put a twist on the Christmas show this year. News Center 11's Stephanie Woodard has the details in tonight's That's Interiortainment.
'Tis the season for entertainment. With all the holidays near, many folks want to go see a good show. Dance Theater Fairbanks has decided this year to totally switch up their lineup and bring Fairbanks some Broadway flavor.
Like New York City and LA, and we want to follow and bring all those movies, TVs, and tunes to Fairbanks. So we decided to not go the Christmas route, but to have a Broadway style to it.
So what can audience members expect with this year's winter show?
Show this winter is about Broadway tunes, show classics, and any kind of TV themes that people can really relate to. And so we like to have all the kids perform in each of their classes, and they'll have costumes, makeups, lights.
During the show, dancers will perform a variety of pieces and styles of dance, all on stage with a special closing piece from a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious movie. Oops, did I give it away?
There's going to be everything you can think of, ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, contemporary, even some Broadway hits that were like Mary Poppins.
I'm Stephanie Woodard, and that's Interiortainment, brought to you by the Finish Line Restaurant and Lounge.
It's time again to join Lisa Gambardella in the kitchen as she features a moose meatloaf recipe in this week's Fairbanks Flavor.
Buonasera. Welcome to Gambardella's Pasta Bella. I'm Lisa Gambardella, and with me today is my dear friend Sandy, the Huntress.
Hi there. Today we're going to make a blue cheese meatloaf, and we're going to use a local flair. We're going to use some moose meat in the recipe.
Fantastic. Now, Sandy, tell us about your moose hunt.
I shot my first moose this year in Salcha. It was very exciting. Now we have a freezer full of meat.
Okay, well, we've got plenty of recipes we can make with that. This blue cheese meatloaf is delicious.
All right.
I'm going to start with some pepper and some salt. Go ahead and mix away, girl.
All right.
All right, put some on your hand. Some breadcrumb keeps it tender and juicy. Some celery, not too much because it can be very strong. Onion for some sweetness.
Ooh,
Put it all in there. Okay, and get you an egg in there. Remember, you can tune in to webcenter11.com for all of our delicious recipes.
There we go.
Oh, now my favorite part, blue cheese, and I'm going to reserve a little bit for later to put on top. We want a nice crust on that. It's my favorite part of meatballs or meatloaf is to have that nice crust on the top.
I think that's the best part too. I feel like that's where all the flavor is sometimes.
It is. It caramelizes. All the sweetness, delicious. Woo. Look at this beauty.
Ooh, that looks fantastic.
Know. Coming in hot stuff right there. Okay. All right, Sandy, let's pop this thing open.
All right.
Go ahead, do the honors.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, this smells so good.
That is great. Be sure to join us every week for Fairbanks Flavor on Channel 11. Oh, look at that.
Brought to you by Gambardella's Pasta Bella.
All right, looked really tasty. Joe Cook is coming up next with sports, and he has another high school basketball preview as well as a first for a local ski race. Stay tuned for sports with Joe after the break.
Welcome back to Interior Alaska. Time for Thursday Sports. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs will be on the road for their last series of 2013. They play those Brown Bears again, the same Brown Bears who snapped the Ice Dogs' 9-game winning streak last Saturday. The winning streak was the second longest in the NAHL this year. The last time these teams played in Soldotna, the Ice Dogs got a sweep outscoring Kenai 12-8. But this could be a different series with Brown Bears at full strength with players back from suspensions, a recent win, and home ice. But the Ice Dogs could win the Era Cup outright with a sweep before the Christmas break. Fairbanks is up 7-1. A sweep will make the Midwest Division leaders over the Minnesota Wilderness as well. The Ice Dogs are motivated to seal the deal.
Focus on Friday, preparing for that. Take it one game at a time. I mean, we'll see them again and again, but it's important to us right now.
If we work hard, the goals will come. There's a little more space up there, so hopefully the skill of this team will be on display a little bit again.
It's going to be a matter of us outperforming them or them outperforming us. And we had a good week of practice this week, and we expect our guys to be ready to go.
And we continue our basketball team previews at Monroe. The Rams girls basketball team returns just 3 seniors who will attempt to lead Monroe to a better finish. Here's more. The Rams finished last year with a 6-18 overall record with 3 Aurora Conference wins. Monroe will be more of an up-tempo team this go-around.
Yeah, I think we're going to have more of a fast-paced game than we did last year, and we have speed going for us this year. We might not have our height, but we have speed. So I'm excited to use that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a quicker team. We have a lot more guards, so we're going to be doing a lot of 5-out. So it's going to be pretty good.
The guards will have to do a little bit of everything like boxing out and getting rebounds. That may be tougher for a younger team, so it's important to encourage the underclassmen. Senior guard Maya Tompkins recognizes that.
Just break things down as much as we can, try and give them wisdom instead of breaking them down with criticism, because when you're young, you have a young mind, break down easy, so we try to keep it positive in the gym.
For head coach Leah Stepovich entering her 3rd season, her measure of success for this team is more than W's.
My expectation is that we get better each day, and that the younger girls and even the older girls understand the importance of what we're doing here. We're not only trying to win basketball games, we're also trying to have some character development and take one game at a time. And I'm not looking at each team, I want to beat this team. I just want this group of girls to get better so that we can have success.
The Rams open the season this Saturday at home against the Alson Ravens. Now, the back-to-back 3A state champion Monroe boys basketball team. They too lost players like everyone else, but they returned an uber-talented senior core group for one last run. So Monroe enters this season with back-to-back state titles under their belt, so obviously talk of a three-peat. A dynasty has to be going on, right?
We don't like to talk about the three-peat in practice. We like to take it game by game. We got Allison this weekend, so we don't know who anybody has yet, so we got to be prepared for the worst and come out hard on Saturday.
We got to start off with certain goals, winning this game, and then coming down the championship. That's the overall goal, but we got to make it there first.
How can you keep a talented and successful team motivated? Well, head coach Franco Stanik's intense coaching style and practices helps make this team who they are, as well as a competitive schedule that features West Anchorage twice and Thunder Mountain in the Mount McKinley Bank tournament.
Coach O, who definitely keeps us on track of what we're doing every practice, and he'll let us know if we're not. And try to keep the intensity up in practices and battling each other just to get better every day.
Monroe lost Milo Hadukovic and Michael Hale to graduation, but guards David Stepovich and Jalen McCullough joined Bynum and Wells. Christian Nickerson and Edwin Erickson will fill the void on the blocks. They say the right things, but deep down, the senior class wants to finish what they started and get 3 titles.
Finish the job, man. We got this far. We got 2 straight, and we work every day to make sure we don't go out with 2 and 4 instead of 3 straight championships. So it's just putting in the work that you need to know you need to put in to get there in March.
The quest for a three-peat starts Saturday against Allison. And last night, it finally happened. After delay after delay, the Wednesday night race series had its first race of the season. 15 skiers came out and endured the whipping Wednesday night winds on Birch Hill to take part in this friendly local race series. Dash Fire Obden came in first at the end of the 5K mass start in 12 minutes 37 seconds. Max Kaufman was second and Dave Edick was third and was first for the Masters class. Shalane Frost was first for the woman in 14:08. It was her first WNR, and she had a great time.
Oh, it was fun. I'm still working on my technique, so just try to keep my skis free side down, and it's a good race.
It's nice to finally get back out here and see all my ski buddies back on the trail, and it's a little windy, but that's how it is on Wednesday nights. So yeah, it's great to be back out here.
And that's a wrap for sports. I got to run, but Mike Schultz is next with weather. We'll catch you next time.
Welcome back, everyone. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather. What a miserable day across the interior. Only way to describe it. That wind was so bitter. It cuts right through you. We were expecting the gusty winds today, but not the winds we got last night. Sorry about that. That was not expected at all. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Take a look at our photograph. This is a dynamic photograph. This one's sent in by Sasha Leos. The sunrise at the Museum of the North up at UAF. Beautiful shot. Look at all the colors there, and again the art. It's a nice job, nice job. If you have a photograph to share with us, by all means send it to photos@ktvf11.com. We're looking for Christmas photos too, so if you got some Christmas lights or something like that, be sure and send those along too. And again, a reminder, we still have a few calendars out there. You can pick them up at places like Personnel Plus. They still have some calendars, and they're free. And they'll be handing them out as long as they can hold on to them, but they're running out fast. Okay, here's your numbers. Normal high 6 above, normal low 12 below, record high 40 in 1944, 57 below in 1935. By the way, the highest wind gust today measured by the airport was 31 miles per hour. Our sunshine works out to about 3 hours and 52 minutes of daylight, a loss of 3 minutes from yesterday. Satellite pictures showing some interesting things going on. Here's an area of low pressure spinning around here, bringing snow to the Anchorage Bowl. Of course, more rain and snow moving across southeast Alaska. And way down to the south there, you can see the outer stretches of a new storm moving up. That's going to be influencing our weather too. As far as what's going on across the rest of the state, as you can see, rain falling across southeast Alaska, snow around Juneau, some snow showers at Cold Bay, and then the rest of the state looking pretty good. Temperatures fairly chilly though, as you would expect this time of year. Lower 48 weather, more rain falling across the Pacific Northwest, nice over the Southwest, rain moving back in over Texas, snow around the Minneapolis area, and more snow across much of the Midwest, all because of a storm system that's moving in from Canada, bringing in a lot of reinforcement of cold air. Also another storm moving across the Pacific Northwest, and the jet stream again pulling all that moisture down with it from Canada, helping to set up a very, very wet and white weekend for much of the eastern half of the country, just the opposite out to the west. Back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, flurries and fog at Barrow, sunny skies for Nome, a few clouds in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at, for the most part, clouds increasing with winds decreasing at Delta Junction, Haley, and Fairbanks, while over the southeastern sections, rain and snow at Juneau, with rains slowly ending at Ketchikan, and out to the southwest, a mixed bag once again, snow showers at Cold Bay, mostly sunny skies in Bethel, and snow for Kodiak Island. And over the south central regions, heavy snow in Homer and Anchorage, and blizzard conditions around the Thompson Pass, with heavy snow expected for Valdez also. Okay, time once again for our weather fact for today, and this one is happening in 1995. Newport, Oregon was slammed with 110-mile-an-hour winds in downtown Newport. Wow. Hot, strong winds. And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. And again, a reminder, the kids are getting ready for Christmas vacation, so we're going to wait till next year to talk with them. Real quickly, our road conditions. Bottom line, don't drive anywhere if you don't have to. It is just nasty out there, blowing and drifting snow, icy conditions, glazed roads. Just not a good night to be out driving whatsoever. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 21 below, winds slowly diminishing by morning, clear skies. Tomorrow we'll look for increasing clouds throughout the day, 11 degrees below zero. And then by tomorrow night, looking at some better chance of seeing some snow, a good chance of snow on Saturday into Sunday. Cloudy skies the rest of the 5-day period to partly cloudy skies, and temperatures very, very cold. In fact, overnight lows dropping down to the 25 below mark by next Monday night. Also daytime highs not very warm either, 20 below to a little bit of a recovery on Wednesday of 17 below, if that's a recovery.
Well, at least there's no wind. That's the wow.
Oh,
that's
that wind is just something else.
This has just been an interesting winter, you know, going from extended fall to kind of cold and then back to warm, wind, rain.
Don't even talk to me about global warming.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's just been just an interesting weather year. So,
definitely.
All right. Thanks, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of our broadcast. We are glad you could have joined us.
Tonight on NBC and Audio News, preventing breast cancer, a new option that cuts the risk for some women in half with far fewer side effects. That's up next with Brian Williams.
Now, a note to those who had damage to their homes during the November storms. A disaster center will open at the Noel Library tomorrow at 9 a.m. where people can apply for state assistance.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Try and stay warm if you can. The wind should be moving out of here by tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here at 11.